Today on The Boot Guy, we are looking at the ARCTERYX BORA 2. So first and foremost, the first thing I got to say about the BORA 2 from ARCTERYX is that this is not an everyday casual hiking boot. This isn't something that you're going to put on for the weekends to take the kids to the park, to go hang out with your buddies on their back porch for a barbecue. This is an actual approach trekking tool. This is a tool to allow you to really enjoy the outdoors and to not think about your feet once you have them on. This is the kind of boot that when you put it on that first day, the chances are for the next 4 to 5 days, you might not get a chance to take your boots off. And that's where ARCTERYX excels when it comes to engineering and design. You gotta remember, ARCTERYX is probably the leading company right now when it comes to laminating materials together in order to create more durable, more pliable, and more breathable materials. They have pushed that whole idea as far as they possibly can. I mean, just take a look at one of their jackets. Take a look at it from an outdoor perspective, and then if you've got any background in engineering, you look at it from an engineering perspective, and they're outstanding. So the BORA 2, it falls right into that category. But first, let's talk about this pet peeve that I have about this boot. It's extremely difficult to get on because there are actually 3 moving tandem pieces that exist in this boot. One, you have the insole, which is just a basic ortholite insole, nothing amazing, but it is an insole, and this insole exists within this removable bootie. Now, this bootie is completely vented and it is Gore-Tex lined. The Gore-Tex, as we all know, Gore-Tex is a micro-thin material that stops water from getting in, but allows heat and perspiration to move past its thread pattern or its weaving pattern. Now, what ARCTERYX did by building this bootie, and it does have a hard bottom. It's not hard enough. I would not suggest walking around in the bottom just to preserve it, but if you had to walk around for a little bit inside the house or just at the site, I'm pretty sure you're not going to burn through this bottom right away, but not suggested. What the construction of this fit together with this laminated boot, what they're doing is they are creating a perfect pocket to hold your foot. This thing, when it's on your foot, really does sit in the best places. There's nothing tight, there's nothing constrictive. Unlike when you have a boot that you just slide your foot in, this, when it's in there, it's already padding and cushioning your foot, and it's also allowing all the moisture to leave because of the Gore-Tex and the 3D mesh that's built inside there. It is an actual 3-dimension honeycomb pattern material that has a bellowing effect. So when you're moving and flexing and just walking around, you're creating airflow inside this, which once you get to this layer, this boot, as far as a boot goes, the engineering that goes into this boot is top notch. Everything that we've seen over the last 10 years in footwear, from basketball shoes to running shoes to outdoor hiking boots, this boot embodies all that technology in one spot. Now, the sole they're using is a proprietary sole pattern. It is Vibram rubber that is glued down to the upper. Remember, this thing is all built through glue and heat and processes like that. So this sole is actually this section here that is glued down to the midsole. Now, it's giving this boot a lot of shape. Exists right in here in this toe section. They have this beautiful hard piece of rubberized material right at the toe, and then it also exists back here in the heel cup. And the heel cup itself is a nice formed heel cup. And you got to think, with the heel of this sitting inside there, there's going to be some movement, there's going to be some friction, but it's not like your foot actually moving around and rubbing the surface of the boot. with only your sock to prevent any sort of actual blistering from happening. Now you have your sock, you have the bootie, and you have this, so you can actually spend a huge amount of time in this boot without having to worry about blisters happening. Now the boot is waterproof, of course, because it's Gore-Tex, but the main section of the boot is layer upon layer of laminated materials that are put together. Lamination, we all know what that means. It's a matter of heating two surfaces and putting a compound between them, adding pressure, heat, or whatever it takes in order to create one solid unit. So there's meshes, there's rubbers, there's urethanes. It's all incorporated into here, and it's all beautifully done. Now, like I said, getting them on and off is a real pain in the butt. But once they're on, once these things are on, you feel where your money has gone. Now, this is not in the realm of hiking boots, in the realm of trail boots, trekking boots, approach boots. These are not the cheapest boots out there. And they shouldn't be. With as much tech that goes into designing and building these boots, with as many machines that you need in order to complete this process, you got to understand that it's going to carry a pretty high price tag, and they do. But the comfort and the reliability of this actual boot as a tool, when you approach this boot as an outdoor adventure boot tool, you can't go wrong. In closing, about size and fit on this boot, depending on what you wear in other hiking boots, you probably just want to buy your size. If you're lucky enough to actually sit down in a shop that stocks the Bora, you are in luck, because then you get to try it on. Then you get to try different hiking socks, super thin socks, super heavy socks, and you get a really good idea what this boot is really all about. Naturally, of course, I went with my size like I always do. Once I got all the layers together and I got it on my feet and I started moving around in it, it really did vanish. It became one of those boots that just kind of fell into the background, and I was not thinking about the size, the fit, or anything else going on inside the boot. So that's the ARCTERYX BORA 2 MID. Hey, if you're currently wearing anything from ARCTERYX, please comment below, whether it be a jacket, pants, or shirts. Just let us know what you think about the brand. If by chance you own a pair of these Boras, please comment below and let guys know about the longevity and the durability of the boot. If you want to see some of the detailed photos I took of this boot, or if you want to know more about design and construction of this boot, swing by to bootguy.com. I'll have all that compiled into a single blog posting where you can see everything in one fair swoop. Please don't forget to hit my subscribe button below. You know it really helps out. And if you're on Instagram or Twitter, remember you can always follow me there. And also don't forget to check out my new Facebook page. Hey, if you're about to pick up a pair of these Boras and you just got questions about size and fit and whether or not the boot is really going to be a good boot for what you have planned for your outdoor activities, feel free to shoot me over an email. All right, until the next time, I'm the Boot Guy. Thanks a lot for watching.